Hey there, guys. I know that I was going to try to get this where I could have it all fancy schmancy, but apparently that is not how life is going to go. So I'm going to stream live here on YouTube, but you won't be able to see the charts. So what I would recommend is if you guys are wanting to see the charts and everything like that, probably go watch me on TikTok. Yeah. So I have this streaming software and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So yeah, that's about to go bye-bye. So I'm sorry you guys are getting to kind of watch me get all ready here. So we were trying to get everything done. You know what I mean? I will be live on TikTok in just a second. And then I'm going to be dual streaming, hopefully, on TikTok. Hey guys. So what I'm going to be trying to do here is dual stream. I'm going to see if I can get this on here. So give me just a second. Technical difficulties. Because what I thought was going to happen is not what is happening. Unfortunately. All right. Let's try this again here. I do not understand this at all. It is going to do the bad stuff. All right, then. Well, fuck me in the face. It is what it is. It is what it is. So we're just going to do this, and y'all will get to see me, but that's cool. Yeah, there was more than one me for just a minute. That was my second account. But so what I had tried to do was have one account here, my other account where y'all could actually see both things on there because my Streamlabs is not working correctly. That doesn't want to work correctly. It wants to do the no, I can't. I'm having issues with technology today, and I'm just about over it. Like completely all the way done. So it is what it is. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to do this. There we go. All right. So the thing is, I'm just going to have to make sure I don't show anybody's information. I've been freezing all damn day, and now I'm burning up. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Faulty everything today. All right. How are we, guys? How are we? As soon as I'm getting all this set up, I'll get my first person pulled up, and we will have at it. We'll have some fun. See what's in your birth chart. Yeah. I'm actually Gucci all over. Like that. Not like that. Son of a bitch. See what I mean? It is what it is. I'm like, I just want you over here. Right there. It is what it is. Well, the good thing too is y'all can't really see me with my nerd glasses on. So there. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Miss Tiffany, could you do what you did last night with checking people in as I go through? Pretty please. Would you guys like to see? Check it. They even have like, I like my nerd glasses. Yeah. You're welcome. All right, Andrea Norris. So let me pull you up here. Ooh, thank you, Love Light. I looked down just in time to see that. All right. So this is Miss Andrea Norris. So what I'm doing tonight, guys, is I'm pulling birth charts. And thank you, Miss Joy. If you guys would like to know either what stands out on your birth chart or there's a few specific questions you can ask, these are not full birth chart readings, okay? I've considered doing full birth chart readings live, but here's the problem. A full birth chart reading, for me to go through all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that, it takes like over an hour. Like it takes a while. You know what I mean? So if I were to do those, like there's no way I could really do them on a live. You know what I mean? So that's why these are just quick questions. Like, what do you need to know? What's in retro? You know what I mean? So here's the thing. So Miss Andrea, what she asked was, what do I need to know? What stands out? Well, the first thing that stands out is you pretty much have a pentagram in the middle of your chart. See it? I mean, you literally do. You have a pentagram in the middle of your chart. And here's the thing, guys. I know that people say, oh, pentagram is bad. Okay, so there is the pentacle and the pentagram. The pentacle is simply the star, okay? That is all 5 elements. That is earth, wind, fire, and water, plus the spirit. I always have to sigh because I hate hearing this sometimes, even out of my own face. But the pentagram has a circle around it, meaning all of those are protected. You know what I mean? All of those are protected. So the first thing that stands out to me is that you have a pentagram, that it is encased there. And that tells me that what I would say is that you're actually balanced. You're very, very balanced. You may not realize it, but you're very balanced in all of your elements and you're very protected. Even without looking at anything else. The other thing that I noticed right off the bat is that when you were born, your Saturn not only was in Capricorn, but it was in retrograde. So Saturn is the ruling planet of both Capricorn and Aquarius. Oh, gee, look, I wasn't really wrong. Remember when I said that you're actually really balanced? And then it shows that out of all 4 of your elements, you have a little bit bigger earth than the other 3, but it's only at 33% and the others are in the 20s. That's pretty balanced. That's pretty balanced. So what I love here, what I'm looking at here is your south hemisphere, which is where your Saturn is. The south is what you put out, your consciousness, your objective in the world. So seeing that your Saturn is up there, you literally can make a conscious effort whether you want to take care of things karmically or not. Because the fact that Saturn was in retrograde when you were born, and here's what's funny. I'm betting that you've probably your whole life felt like karma was fucking with you, that you had all this shit that you had to either fix or take care of or whatever. But that's actually not the case. It's actually like in no way the case. Because you're amazingly balanced, you're amazingly protected. And it's up to you in this life whether you take care of karmic issues or not. And I say that because seeing this balance, seeing Saturn there, and seeing some of your other things, seeing that Saturn is in your southern hemisphere, it tells me that you probably in the life or two before this one really knuckled down and got some shit done. And now it's almost like you finished your junior year, your sophomore year of high school. Does that make sense? Like when you were a sophomore in high school, you finished your sophomore and your junior year together. So now this is your junior year and you just get to do electives, whatever you want. Does that make sense? So to me, that is the main thing that stands out about your chart. You literally can do whatever you want. You don't have anything that you have to take care of. You don't have anything that has to be done. It's just kind of a normal, it is what it is, you know? Good. I'm glad that makes sense. But love, you're really balanced. You're really balanced. And I like the fact that your elements, you have a little bit more in the earth than you do the others. That means you're more grounded than anything else. And girl, I think that's fucking fantastic. Thank you, Love Light. I think that's utterly fantastic. So here's what that translates to. Absolute freedom. It literally translates to absolute freedom. Do what you want. Do what you want. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do what you want. I mean, within reason. You know what I'm saying? Within reason. Thank you, Miss Marva, for all the jellies. All right, Shaun. Have I pulled your chart yet? I have not. All right. So I'm going to do you guys like that for just a minute because I don't want you to see. All right. Wow. Wow. Okay. So, Shaun, I'm sure y'all notice exactly what I noticed right there. See how your Saturn, I really need to take vest off there because we're not really looking at it in this reading, but see how your Saturn is literally direct line with your sun right there? So what I'm looking at right here is it's actually in conjunct with your sun. Meaning somebody outside thinks they're really cool. Wow, okay. Meaning, did y'all hear that shit? Meaning you are kind of the opposite of Andrea, in that you have a massive amount of karma to take care of in this life. And you have no way around it. Seeing that your Saturn is in your Aries right there, and it's in retrograde, it's in direct line with you and your Scorpio. Oh, man. Yeah, you literally have no way around that. Yeah, Friday night races at Bodie's. I've never hear that. So I don't know. So what's even funnier is like there's a church and a school right up the street. Like I live in this little U area. It's real quiet. So that's not a normal thing. So Shaun, like literally the main thing that stands out right off the bat is that. Right off the bat is that. You're pretty damn balanced as well. That's almost perfect balance, truthfully. So I do to deal with all of those aspects. I also love this. See how half of your chart is fixed signs here? That is being productive and getting things done, following through. Ooh. Yep, there's your Saturn and your Southern as well. Okay. Love, you are almost everything else is in your subconscious. You're literally here to get done the heavy shit. You have a lot of karma that you're clearing out in this life. And what I would bet too, ooh, I almost knocked that over. Let's not do that. What I would bet too is because your moon is over here in Capricorn. I mean, Virgo, excuse me, because your moon's over there in Virgo and it's in your first house. Oh, you are extremely tough on yourself too. So what's funny is the karmic things that you have to do in this life, you're overthinking them, overanalyzing them, and being overly hard on yourself over it, if that makes sense. Thank you, love. So, yeah. You just have a ton of karma to take care of this time. I would bet that the vast majority of it is little bitty tiny things too. Just seeing where some of these placements are. Most of your placements are down here where you have your family, your roots, your foundation, what makes you you, etc. Nothing really up in here that governs your spiritual path, your career. So a lot of the stuff that you're dealing with in this life is family oriented. So yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's go to Miss Emily Rosalot. Okay. Emily, do I have your chart? I do. Look there. All right, Miss Emily. So what do you need to know? What stands out? Okay. I find it interesting that most of your stuff is in your second and third house, or your third and fourth house, your fourth house especially. Both your masculine and your feminine are here, and this is your foundation. Oh, well, okay. You're a hider. You're a channeler, aren't you? Emily, are you here? Where are you? There you are. Okay. So what I was looking at, because like when I'm looking at your chart, nothing immediately jumped out. This did though. And the fact that you have your sun, your moon, and your Saturn in water. The fact that you have this here, this, You know, let's knuckle down and get the things done. These two are pretty balanced. These three are complete balance. But what I was looking at down here is this. So your sun and your Mercury are both in the east. This is what you put out to others, what you put out into the environment. Everything else is over here to the west. So you are getting all of these fucking downloads that you're supposed to be sending out to everybody else. And I would be willing to bet that yeah, what I'm looking at here, your sun and your Mercury are also in the quadrant where you just kind of do the things. You just do the things. So yeah, love, you're made to be someone that channels messages. But I have a feeling that yours are different than other people's. And that's why you haven't figured out how to do it yet. Thank you, love, light, sugar. Here's what I would say. Because you are able to get all of these messages. Okay. As long as you are in balance, because your Mercury is in Libra, as long as you are in balance, you're able to not only channel the messages in the way they need to be channeled, but understand them. And for any of you guys, this is especially for you, Emily, but for any of you guys that are considering being readers, that are considering learning to channel, that are considering anything at all that comes to being able to pull information and put it out into the universe. Here's the main thing you need to remember, and I want you to stamp this into your brain, okay? The information, the message is not always for you to understand. I say that all the time, especially when I'm doing mediumship readings. Thank you, Miss Joy. I love that. Thank you so much, Sweet Pea. It's not so much for you to understand. It's for the person you're telling it to. Does that make sense? I may have a channeled message that talks about a blue bunny rabbit with a broken ear. And I may think, oh, well, that must be a stuffed animal or something like that. What I may not know is maybe your best friend had a tattoo like that and they passed away and that's their sign. You know what I mean? It's not always for me to decipher. It's not always for the reader, the channeler to decipher. So Emily, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that you read tarot and everything. Here's what I'd recommend doing. I would recommend branching out into scrying, whether it's water scrying, mirror scrying, whatever. I would bet that you're probably extremely talented when it comes to mirror scrying. And it doesn't always have to be a black mirror. You can actually use water if you want in like a black bowl or whatever. Yeah. You're going to hear the yawns a lot because I'm talking too fast and not breathing. And literally set up a recorder and just say what you're seeing. Ask to get a message for a specific person or a specific reason, and then say everything that you're seeing. Love, I would bet that you know some shit. You are tuned in. You're absolutely tuned in, Miss Emily. Does that help you? But your voice recorder on your phone is going to be your best friend. Okay. All right. Elara. I'm pretty sure I don't have yours. I would remember typing that name. All right. Let me turn a little bit so y'all don't see. Gotcha. Okay. Threw me off there for a minute, Emily. Would you like to see my little face while I'm doing this? I'll happily show you my little face. All right. Yeah, I was like, why is that a thing? So I get to do one on your new one. Little teeny tiny baby. I love this. Oh. Ready? Ready for this? All right. Look at that. Like, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. First of all, you got your hands full. You got your hands full. But second of all, I wanted to look at that before I said anything, because of what you asked for, like what your soul needs to move forward, what this soul needs. Okay? This person right here, this soul right here. I mean, the first thing that stands out to me is those triangles. I mean, they're just everywhere right there. And the way that the triangles are between some of these different points. This is someone that needs to communicate. Their whole job, their soul's whole job, love you right back. Their whole job in this life is to communicate. I understand now why it was very important for me to tell you that you needed to learn to channel, that you needed to learn to write these things down, because the fact that this kiddo's Jupiter was in retrograde when they were born means that they're never going to feel like they are good enough with their talents. I mean, it's in conjunct with all this down here. In fact, being in conjunct with their moon, which is in Libra, they're going to want balance, but never be able to get balance for themselves. It's something they're going to fight their whole life. And then why I was saying that you're going to have your hands full is because over half of this kiddo's chart is cardinal signs, meaning this is one headstrong child. This is one headstrong soul. This is going to be the one that makes your hair go gray within about 5 years or fall out, one or the other. But look at all this communication down here and see that Saturn is in air. Saturn is in this logic, this communication aspect. Let me look at something else here real quick. So I'm going to say this too. What I'm looking for are repeating numbers. Okay. That's what I was looking for. So here's what I'm going to say. I would advise you to read up on Andromedan star seeds, because you've got one in your midst. They're here to communicate, and they're going to be very frustrated with it, just so you know. So it's going to be your job to help them pull the information that they need, if that makes sense. Their soul's job this time around is to be a communicator, to help people move forward logically, but you're going to have to be their guide to help them do that. Does that make sense, Emily? I love that you let me read your little. Your brand new little. This is kind of like a cheat sheet. Like, this is legit like a cheat sheet. You're smart. Emily, you're smart. You know what? You know how everybody's like, oh, kids don't come with goddamn words just fell out of my brain. They don't come with instructions. I mean, they kind of do. They kind of do. All you got to do is read the birth chart. You have a special little little Emily. Thank you for letting me read. All right. I'm going to flip the camera around. Same. I wish I had thought to pull mine as well, but I had to kind of be in the broom closet. All right. Let me get yours pulled up, Miss Kelly. All right, ready? Thank you, love. All right. Miss Kelly. Thank you, Miss Emily. You have a special little there on your hands, honey. And they are absolutely going to try your patience. Just letting you know. But I will say this, Emily. You were given a soul whose whole job here is to communicate and to help people move forward. And while you do have a very, very headstrong soul there, and you have a very interesting childhood to get through with this one, your guidance will help this kiddo change the world. No pressure. No pressure. All right, Miss Kelly Wesley, let's look here. So the main thing that stands out to me, since that's what you asked, is this pinpoint here. Look at that. And the fact that your Venus is directly in line with your moon. You really, really beat yourself up. You do not feel like you are ever, ever good enough. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sweet pea. Are you here, Miss Kelly? If not, you can hear it on YouTube here in a little bit, but So, hey, there you are, sugar. You, my dear, are born to be a shadow worker extraordinaire. Look at all that. So your moon is what governs your emotions, the dark side of yourself. And see how you have 40% is water, which is your intuition and your emotions. And then 40% is earth, meaning that you are extremely, extremely grounded. You don't always look at things very logically. And I'm not saying that in a bad way at all after seeing these two things right here. And you don't always want to move forward very quickly with things because you're kind of a workhorse. Honey, you literally are someone, you are a soul who you kind of take on other people's traumas so they can move forward with their life. And you take a lot of, like that's a lot of heaviness right there. You take a lot of damage for other people. The fourth house is your foundation, your family, your friends, your love. What makes you, you. So being that you've got your sun, your Venus, and your Jupiter here, and two of them are directly in line with your moon, which is, yeah. Love, you are absolutely, absolutely a top tier shadow worker. I would bet that you were a kiddo that spent a lot of time by yourself. I would bet that even when you're with people you've known your whole life that love you to pieces, you still don't feel like you belong. I would bet that you can pick out someone else's traumas in a heartbeat, that you carry this massive, massive, heavy, heavy burden with you every step of your journey. Oh, okay. See all the zeros. Some of y'all are getting a little bit of a starseed reading, but not quite. Yeah. Shug, your soul, I'm trying to figure out the right word, because it's not like you just suck everything from somebody. You're not like an energy vampire. What you do is when you meet someone, you can instantly tell where their damage is. And when you touch someone, when you spend a lot of time with someone, even if you're not touching them, even just sitting across, the room from them or whatever, you tend to try, it's almost like you pull in some of their damage, trying to siphon it and fix it for them. So I would bet more often than not, you're exhausted in a way, and you can't ever explain to anybody why you're exhausted the way you're exhausted. It's like very, very intense, sweetie. So here's what I'd recommend. First of all, I would recommend, Are You Really Good? That made me really happy to read that you're a level 4, because an empath from hell. I would recommend doing some classes so you can either teach shadow work or help people start their shadow work. Does that make sense? And I'm glad that you already are those other things. I would bet you were driven to start learning Reiki and stuff like that and couldn't explain why. You just knew you had to do it. So I'm glad you did. So yeah. You have a heavy soul, sweet pea. You have a heavy soul. You have a very heavy soul. And I'm glad that I could help you. I could read for you. Hopefully that was exactly what you needed to know. Ah. You are so welcome, sweetheart. I understand that. I understand that on a deep, deep level. All right, Miss Christine Carba. What are you doing? Okay. All right. So what does your soul need? All right, let's look. Right and off the bat, this stands out to me. It stands out to me that there's nothing over here. You have your sun sign is in your foundation, meaning that is the main thing that's important to you. But you have your Mars, you have your Saturn, which is in retrograde, and your Pluto, which is in retrograde when you were born. All of them tied in with your sun. All of them water. Not water, air, excuse me. This is interesting too. Ugh. It's like this damn heater is just sitting here on me like, let me just melt ya. So here's what I noticed. This right here is what I noticed. See how everything is in your output and the only thing in your input is here. This is why family is so important to you. Family is literally your tether keeping you here, anchoring your soul here. So here's what your soul needs. Here's what's up. I can't with this fucking heater, I swear. I love it. Honey. This right here tells me that, and please don't take this wrong when I say this, because it's something that your soul has to overcome in this life. There's something with your soul that never feels good enough. There is something with your soul that never feels pretty enough, handsome enough, strong enough, smart enough. You just never feel enough. And with this being in Libra right here and being in retrograde when you were born, next to your Saturn and tied in with your sun, this is something that your soul has to overcome in this life. This is why you struggle so hard with your identity and who you are and who you want to be and who you should be. And I'm gonna give you a little secret. Let me give you a little cheat, okay? See how your Saturn, your Jupiter is right here, literally on the first degree in your first house. Honey, you're exactly who you need to be. You don't need to be anything more than you are or you ever will be. Does that make sense? And I know that was very, very cryptic when I said it that way. You have to be okay with you. It's what your soul is trying to overcome in this life. That's why it's tied in right here. You're here to find balance with your divine masculine. You're here to not really overcome too much karmically, except that. I have my big purple brachiated jasper sitting right here, just so y'all know. Honey, you always are, you always will be good enough. You always will be perfect. You always will be exactly who and what you need to be. But you're going to feel like you need to search for that the rest of your life. Yeah. That's why right there. And every single person could tell you this, that you always will be enough, that you are exactly who and what you were meant to be, that you're perfect. But until you make yourself believe it, until you overcome that, it's not going to matter who says it to you. Because I guarantee your husband tells you all the time. I guarantee your kid tells you all the time. I know I've told you a couple of times, and seeing this, and it's something that I had never paid attention to before, but yeah, Sweet Pea, you're exactly who you need to be in this life. You're already everything that you need to be. And you're exactly perfect in doing it. Okay. So I want you to just kind of let that sink in for just a minute. Mm-hmm. I know you are, sweetheart. I know you are. And here's the thing, even though I know that you're working on it and I know that you know this, it's going to be something that I have a feeling you're going to struggle with for a while still. You're going to struggle with for a while. So just know that when you start to really feel that way and you start to really beat yourself up, that it's literally that. Just, get onto your soul. Like, what the fuck, man? Miss Tiffany. All right. I'm going to flip you around so you can see my glasses. And hopefully I can spell correctly. Thank you, Love Light. How are you, sugar? All right. Here we go. You're so sweet. All right. So, karmic ties and contracts. Gotcha. Y'all are gonna have to excuse me. I'm gonna eat while I'm talking, while we're chattering. All right. Okay. There we go. No, that shows your birthday. I don't want to do that. Okay, shit. All right. So what I'm looking at right here, your Saturn is in conjunct only with your Pluto. Which has its own issues with your Vesta. Okay. A charcuterie board, of course. So, the main thing you have in this life to overcome is with you. Your Saturn is tied in with your Pluto, which is in retrograde, and it's in Virgo, meaning that you overthink every little teeny tiny thing about yourself. Not only do you overthink those things about yourself, but you literally beat the daylights out of yourself about yourself. The other thing I was noticing is that your Pluto is also, I can never say that, but basically it's square, and it's a fucked up square with Vesta, which is in Taurus. So you feel like, okay, you have karmic ties with people in your life that are supposed to be there with unconditional love. Those karmic ties, they're not really contracts, they're ties. And these ties are to be severed in a way in this life. The universe has already tried to sever these, to help you sever them, to do it. It's literally done everything it can to pull you from these people. But being that your Saturn is right there, all jacked up with your Pluto, which is in retrograde, you keep blaming it on you. You keep blaming it on yourself. You keep blaming it on thinking that you're the one in control. But you're not. The universe is. And the universe has tried to do everything it can to get you to sever some of these ties. And here's the thing, in severing these karmic ties, it doesn't mean getting rid of this person. It means letting go of that tie. So, yeah, it just means letting go of that tie, honey. Okay? Not doing duels tonight, guys. Sorry about that. In fact, I don't think I have ever done one. Does that make sense, Tiff? It's kind of like summed up in that old adage, if you love something, set it free. That's exactly what that is. Same with you. You need to love you enough to let you free. Okay? Does that make sense? Man, look at you guys with all the likey-likies really quickly. All right. Miss Katherine L. Let me refresh my list here. You guys are so sweet. You are so welcome, sugar. My computer is being slow as dirt. Slow as dirt. Okay. All right, Miss Katherine Maziel. Okay. Ready? For Anthony too? Gotcha. All righty. So the first thing that stands out is your Pac-Man. With your spiritual self. Your career, where you're going, where you want to go. Where's your Saturn? Okay, there it is. So what I love is your strongest aspect right here is with your family, with your foundation. It's where you're happiest. It's where you feel the strongest. It's where you communicate the best. Wow, look at that fucking balance right there. Holy shit. I probably say that every single time I look at it. That is perfect balance. 33.3 in all aspects. And the cardinal, which is moving forward and ambition, and the fixed, which is being productive and determined, and in the mutable, which is adapting to change and ending things. That's literally perfect balance. Look at all the threes over here. 13.3, 33.3, 13.3. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Well, there's why you're a homebody. Everything that I was talking about that kind of makes you you is here in this north aspect, which is your subconscious, makes you want to just be a homebody. Okay. All right. So what you need to know, what stands out is your soul is used to having too much to do. Your soul is used to having too much to do. But in this life, it's literally all about that house right there. All about that fourth house. All about your foundation and protecting it, helping those in your house to communicate and being happy there. See how there's nothing right here in your big spirituality house and in your career and so on? You feel like you need to be doing more things. You feel like you're never doing enough. You feel like, oh, and that's in Capricorn too. Shit. No wonder you feel driven to do all of these things. So you feel driven to do all of these things, and then you lose steam because they're not your things to do this time around. Your things to do this time around are right here with your foundation. This is why you've had such a hard time with family. This is why you've had such a hard time with losing people around you. This is why you've had such a, I don't want to say hard time again. It's almost like elusive time feeling wanted, because it's what your soul is dealing with the most right now. And it's what you will be dealing with the most for the vast majority of your time here. I want to look at something real quick. So you still have all this stuff down here in this 4th house. Okay. What I'm watching is your sun. Right now, we're in 2040. Your sun never moves from that 4th house. Everything else does. Everything else shifts. Everything else moves. But your sun never, ever moves from it. Ever. That's what governs you, Miss Kathy. Okay. That's what your soul needed to know. And I believe that I've told you before that you're here to take care of those people that make your foundation. You're here to take care of that. So, yeah. Does that help out at all? You're welcome so much, Sweet Pea. All right. Back to me. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Thank you, Miss Kathy. You're so fucking sweet. All right, Miss Joy Peters, you ready? Because y'all on TikTok wanted to watch me eat too. Right? Oh, I love you right back. Changes upon us. It makes me feel special that you watch me every day, honey. All right. Karmic ties and contracts. Gotcha. Well, look at that big old arrow. Shit. First of all, your Saturn is in Capricorn. Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. Okay. Thank you, Miss Emily. Woo! That is what I was looking for right there. Honey, you're here to end some shit. You are here to end some shit. Yep. You're doing it without realizing you're doing it. See your Saturn right there? You are here to break all kinds of karmic ties, all kinds of all right. So seeing that right there. Yeah. Love, you're here to break things. You're here to break things. Not only are you here to break some of your own karmic ties and contracts, and we're going to talk about those just a second, but you're here to help other people see the ones they need to break. Does that make sense? You are here to help other people illuminate. It's like illuminating the karmic ties that they've made and come across. You're like a fucking beacon. So you're dealing with seeing that this was in retrograde when you were born. And this is down here in your Capricorn, your Saturn. Look at the little H. You didn't do this in another life when you were supposed to. So now, you're doing it in this life. But here's the thing. Seeing all of this, seeing your chart, Okay. So seeing all that, I was just looking at something else. Seeing all your charts, seeing all your numbers, seeing everything like that. Honey, I don't think you were supposed to do it in a previous life. I think that you were supposed to do it here. And I think that you're extremely good at it. I think that you are insanely good at ending things. And you don't understand why. You are one of those people that in this life, you just, and I would assume that you probably have already come to this realization a couple of times, everything ends. Everything ends. Nothing is forever. And I think that you're teaching other people that as well. So I hope that makes sense, Miss Joy. I hope that makes sense because that's your job. That's your job. Your job this time around is to show people where they need to end something and to put an end to some things yourself. But with you, they're not humongous things. They're just little bit tiny things. Little bit tiny things, if that makes sense. So yeah. It's a hard job. Thank you, Miss Andrea. Yeah, I've got to change my top gifter. So my top gifter tonight will sit on my profile tonight and tomorrow, all through Warrior Reiki. All right. Miss Christina Rollins. Yeah, it's kind of a hard road to be the ender. I was going to say. How do I not have your chart, Christina? Weird. Yeah, I see that. But I was like, that's just weird. Look at this. Don't look at this. Look at that. Wow. Okay. First thing that stands out to me is that it's almost like a 3D drawing of a triangle there in the middle, all pointing up to your moon, which is in Pisces. Your Saturn is in Leo and your moon is in Pisces. When you want to be dramatic, you can be the most dramatic of the dramatic dramatics. I like that your Saturn and your Sun are in your 4th house in your foundation. Okay. You're an ender as well. Oh, well. Your Sun and your Moon are over there. This is actually pretty decently balanced. What I find interesting is that your fire is the biggest, which is passion and drive. But over here, your cardinal is the smallest. You like upheaval. You like change. Of course it is. So the thing that stands out to me the most, is that triangle right there. Your moon is the forefront of your chart. It is the forefront of who you are, especially being a Virgo and having a moon in Pisces. You war with yourself like crazy. Not only do you war with yourself like crazy, but you have this insane talent of working people up to end stuff, whether it's a job, relationship, whatever. Your words have a massive amount of power. And this is why your Mercury was also in retrograde when you were born. This is why retrogrades don't really affect you very much. Not only do they not affect you, but this is tied right in with your moon. They don't affect you, but they actually amplify this this crazy ass ability to ramp things up, to end things. So you actually need to be really, really careful during retrogrades on what you say, because your words have extra power during a Mercury retrograde. You can literally speak endings into existence. So you're going to have to make sure that you're really careful during every Mercury retrograde. The other thing I find really interesting, the other thing that stands out to me, is the fact that your Saturn is not very happy with your moon there. Okay. No, not a walking retrograde. Just it amplifies her ability to manifest an ending, to manifest someone leaving a job or leaving a relationship or whatever. Yeah. Oh, what is it you do? Tell me you're a therapist. What is it you do? Now I want to know. Now I want to know. Oop, I did not mean to whack y'all there. Now I want to know. What do you do? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh my God. So you take care of people at the end of their life. That's priceless. So did it kind of blow your mind a little bit when I said that you help people end things? You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Oh, man. right before. Thank you, love. I love that one's my favorite. That's funny. That's funny. I mean, it's funny and not funny. I'm saying it's funny because it's interesting. Especially like I couldn't wait to hear what you did for a living when you said that. So are you ever wrong? When you get the feeling that somebody isn't going to be here much longer? I'm betting the answer is no. Very rarely. I would bet you've also had some that you've said they're not going to be here very long, and everybody around you was like, what? No. Do y'all see why I love this? Oh, wow. That's crazy. So see, when I have times like this, it like cracks me up that I ever didn't want to do this, because there was a long time I was like, I am not doing astrology. And here we are. And here we are. All right, Miss Teresa Dewsbury. Well, thank you for letting me do yours, Miss Christina. Now you know why you do what you do. All right, here we go. I just cannot stop putting food in my face. You are so welcome, sugar. Ooh, look at all the fire and look at all the retrogrades. Okay. Yep. Well, you are a procrastinator extraordinaire. You are always in a big hurry to start, to get the thing going. And then when it comes to the middle part, you're like, yeah, I don't want to do it now. But then when you're ready to end it, bam. Just this middle part you don't want to do. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. That's exactly what I was looking for. Sorry, it got fuzzy. That's exactly what I was looking for. You see the moon and you see the Saturn right there? Right there. Uh-huh. That is one of the main things that you are here to overcome in this life. Is that right there. All right. And both of them are Earth. Okay. Oh, man. You picked a hard one. You picked a hard one, because you've also got these two in your northern hemisphere there, which is subconscious. So you do all this procrastinating subconsciously. You don't even realize you're doing it until you're like so far in that you're like, what the fuck? Like, I had all of this stuff to I had all of this stuff to move forward. I have all, like I had all this planning. I did all the things. So you go into everything with the best intentions. Like, you literally are so focused and ready to go. And then it's like when you lose steam, it's instant. It's instant. Okay. So I can tell you how to fix that a little bit, because see over here, I'm looking at your moon and your Saturn, and they are in your west over there, which is what you pull in from other people. Being around other people, there are certain people that you're around that amplify that like really amplify that. So one of the things that I would recommend is if you to pay it, well, first I would pay attention the next time you have something that you need to do that you're really hyped up to do, who's around you, and see how they drain that energy. If they are the ones that are like, well, you can always do it tomorrow and we could go do this today or whatever. See if they're that person. Like, it doesn't take much. And then, yeah. And then, it just tanks it. It just tanks it. Hey, Debs. So yours may be one of the ones that I've already redone. Because the ones later in December, you're easily distracted. I haven't gotten to yet. So y'all want to hear some bullshit? Y'all want to hear some bullshit? Yeah, Teresa, I would pay attention to who you're around. And I would also make sure that you have things around you to help you focus. So fluorite is a good one. Shungite is a good one. Both of those can help you kind of zoom in and focus and everything. But pay really close attention to who's around you. And here's what I would recommend. If you have somebody around you that's around you all the time, and you notice that this happens every time they're around you, see if you can find out their birthday, and then go pull them up on Cafe Astrology and see where their Saturn is. Read where their Saturn placement is. Chances are they're supposed to be working against you. Okay? Yeah. I would bet. I would bet. I would bet. So yeah. Let's see here. Oh, what did I just do? I just jacked up my list really hardcore. Crap. All right. So, y'all want to hear some bullshit? It's literally the thing you have to overcome in this life, Teresa. Which sounds like a little thing, but it tells me that whatever your soul has to do after this is a humongous thing. So this is kind of the life of getting ready for stuff. Thank you, Miss Kathy. Whatever's next, your soul has to really, really get prepared for. So this is your life to learn that focus. You know what I mean? To protect your focus. So I am going to try to order some more of these in, because I can only get them from one place right now. All right, Miss Monique. I don't know why I'm even typing your name in. I already know I don't have your chart. Like, I would remember your name. I've always loved that name. So we've had a problem with YouTube lately, right? Not YouTube, Zoom. And that's where I do a lot of my classes and so on. We've had a problem with it. And Sass sent me this message where it was like, I kept getting these notifications that you're running out of storage, you're running out of storage. I'm like, how am I running out of fucking storage? Like, how am I running out of storage, right? So here's what Zoom did. And this is just one more reason why I hate Zoom. They took the storage that I'd been paying for. Thank you, sugar. They took the storage I've been paying for, and they went. So, because I was like, how the hell do you go 400% over your own storage? Like, that's not a thing. Like it would cut off, right? Well, it's because they went and lowered it down so much. Like you could only get 1 or 2 videos on your storage to make you pay for more storage. Yeah. Yeah. Piss me off. Piss me off. All right. Miss Monique. Look at you down here. So you asked me about karmic ties and contracts. Sweet pea, you are literally balance. Being a Virgo and having your communication in Virgo means that you are very logical when you look at situations. Unless it's something that, like, this is the downfall to that, is your moon being in Leo, meaning when, and your Mars is in Cancer. When you get riled up and you get mad, like you really let loose. But until you get mad, you're able to really look at things so logically and almost cold in a way. And I bet people have told you that you're really cold when you look at things the way you look at it. Love, your whole aspect with your karmic role in this life is to be balanced. Notice I didn't say to learn balance. I said to be balanced, because balance is where your personal power lies. Balance is where your divine feminine lies. Balance is where your overall physical look, how you feel about yourself, lies. Your whole job, your whole soul's thing is to be balanced. Look at there. It's pretty well balanced. There's that cold aspect. Yeah, look at that. Nothing. 1. I'm going to look at something else first before I go down there. You are so logical sometimes, I bet it drives other people crazy. Not only are you so logical that it drives other people crazy. Go back. You can talk their ear off until they agree with you or until they give in. You are a master at debate. But here's the thing. And here's what I would love for you to read up on. You didn't know you were going to get homework. I would love for you to read up on Orion starseeds. Orion starseeds generally come as earth signs. They're very, very logical. Like they're the Vulcans. But your whole job karmically right now is to be balanced. And it's not just for you, it's for other people as well. So being that this right here is pretty well in balance, you literally do everything subconsciously. You don't even realize you're doing some things. There we go. This is what I was looking for. You take in so much energy from other people, and you're able to literally turn it around as their shadow aspect of themselves. So your ability to be balanced literally helps other people see their own shadow aspect. That's why this is so important. That's why you have so many damn Libra placements. You like everything to be even. You like everything to be fair. You like everything to be structured for a reason. And when people piss you off, you're able really, really quickly to tell them exactly where they are not structured. So I don't feel like you have some karmic tie with a specific person. What's your karmic contract? Your karmic contract is to be balanced. It's to find balance. And like I was saying, everybody that you come up against, everybody that comes into your path, that comes with you, okay, let me back up because my words just went. Everybody that comes into your path, everybody that you meet, you provide them some sort of balance. I don't even think you realize that you do it. When you're just talking to somebody, say one of your friends comes up and they have a problem and they're venting to you, they're talking to you about it. You're already formulating how to help them and how to balance things out. So when they're talking about how something is swinging so far to the left or the right, you're able to talk to them and go, okay, well, here's what you do to get it to swing back to the middle. Your soul understands that the universe requires balance. Like your soul already understands that. I think you show people balance without even trying. Being that your moon is in Leo over there, your 4th and 5th house are humongous. It's your foundation. That's your family. You really need to be around them. Those are your grounding aspects. Those are your grounding aspects to help you ground and find that balance again. But yeah. And it's hard to explain it other than you literally are balance. You are balance. And I would bet that you are also the one that everybody comes to when they have a problem. You're the one that everybody vents to. Like people that are way older than you come to you because they know you're going to see the balance in it. So in a way, that's also a hard position to be in, because after a while you're like, I don't want to hear about your bullshit anymore. Like I've told you repeatedly, what it is. Yeah. See, you empower people. You don't allow venting. Yeah. So what do you do for a living, Monique? I'm curious. Or what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm curious. Y'all are cracking me up with the tappity taps. Interesting. Okay. I actually think that is perfect because you have to have balance for things to grow correctly. If you don't have balance in the soil, if you don't have balance in the air, if you don't have balance in the water, trust me, I know I am not good with plants. I am forcing myself to get better with plants. Oh, right on. Okay. I have a feeling that you're comfortable in management where some people aren't. Congratulations. I love that. I think that's fantastic, especially having all of that balance. The only thing that I'm going to say to be careful with knowing intuitively that you need to help someone, heal someone, work on them or whatever, is to make sure that you are shaking their shit completely off. Because with you literally being balanced, you're going to make yourself the dialysis machine. You're going to pull the bad to even out the good. You know what I mean? You're going to be that teeter-totter. So if you leave any bit of it, good or bad, too much, it's going to overwhelm you and you'll end up getting like physically sick over it. Good. That makes me happy right there. That's a good mentor. That is a good mentor right there, because I have so many people that end up coming across my path or asking me questions or whatever. And they're talking about, I'm learning this, I'm learning that, but I'm getting physically sick by it and so on. And I'm like, why are you getting sick? Why is Reiki making you ill? Like, it should not be making you ill. And so, though, I'll start asking them questions and I realize like they didn't teach them to ground or to shake things off at all. So that's a good mentor right there. That's a good mentor right there. So yeah. Congratulations. You have a good one. That makes me happy to hear. So should make you happy too. But I have a feeling that you already know they're a good mentor or you wouldn't have chose them. All right, Miss Cammie, are you ready? Flip around. All right, Miss Cammie, what do you need to know? What stands out? Your divine feminine is almost too grounded. Okay. So there is such a thing as being too grounded. Believe it or not. Oh, you are at war with yourself. Okay. That's what I was looking at here, is all these back and forth, the spikes, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yep. There we go. Right there. You are also a procrastinator. Not as bad as Teresa, but you are a procrastinator. Oh. Are you here, Cammie? It just hit me what I'm looking at. I love that it kissed that. Well, I don't see you here, Cammie, but let me tell you this. It just hit me what I'm looking at. The fire and the earth, okay? And a massive amount of water as well. With this, your air being little bitty, it tells me that you have a ton of energy in your intuition. You have a ton of energy in your drive and your passion. You have a ton of energy in being practical. But when it comes to being logical and processing information, you sometimes don't do that and you don't realize why. Here's why. Because you're an energy well. You're an energy well. You really, 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 really need to be helping people with energy work in a very specific way. You need to be helping people with energy work in motivating them, in grounding them, or in boosting their third eye, their gifts and abilities. Those three right there. Okay. Ooh. Girl, I would bet you have more energy than you know what to do with. And I would bet that people can usually take you in small doses. And here's what's funny. Mm-hmm. You have so much energy and so much drive to do things. But these two literally cancel each other out. They literally cancel each other out. So you get all this drive and all this passion and all this push, and you have all these great ideas, and then literally you start overthinking every aspect of it, or you start getting ready to do the thing and you get too grounded and it cancels out that drive. So it's like your brain runs into itself at 90 miles an hour. So if you can channel that energy, if you can channel that drive and that ambition, and you can get it to flow correctly with this, then that's exactly what will push you forward. Yep, because see, there's your sun over here. Why are you doing that? There's your sun over here in the earth, and your moon's over here in the fire. Yep. You're absolutely an energy well, Miss Cami. What did I just do? There we go. I'm just trying to do that. All right, Miss Amy Walker. Let's see, where am I at? All right. I know I have Miss Amy here. There's Miss Amy's chart. Oh, yeah, because Amy's a beacon. Amy's a beacon. Amy, you're a matchmaker, aren't you? Interesting. Okay. So when I said matchmaker, let me explain, because it's not so much you know how to line people up to where they will be the happiest in that moment. You are able to put people together that like instantly are best friends, or put people together that are instantly like best friends. I mean, really. Yep. That's funny, because seeing this, all of these things are tied into that. That is you being a beacon and matching all these things to everybody else. So your Saturn's up there in your 12th house in retrograde when you were born. You have a lot of karmic aspects to overcome. How you see yourself, your divine feminine, your shadow work, and your shadow work lies all in your foundation. Your communicative style as well is an aspect of your own karma that you have to. I know I've read your chart before, but it's a little different when I'm looking at something specific. So what I'm looking at right there, see how that biggest part of that, 60% of that is your mutable. That is change and ending things. You literally feel like you're kind of hiding in a way. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say, Amy. you have some heavy things that you need to take care of in this life. I have a feeling that you've already taken care of the vast majority of them when you were young. Now, however, you have a lot of things that you need to end, that you need to let go of. Seeing that your moon, your masculine, your karma are all over there in that water and that intuition. You already know what those things are. Okay. I'm looking at some of the numbers. Okay. So, in letting this go. The reason I was looking at the numbers is everything here points to this being your last go round. But I didn't see some of the numbers I was specifically looking for that, which makes me wonder if you didn't kind of save that vacation life for last. Because that birth chart right there when you were born, that's a lot. That's a lot of things that are dependent on this in conjunction with that, butting heads with this, square with that. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I would almost bet that you probably weren't supposed to be here this time around, and that you, instead of coming here to let this be your last time around, you were like, well, I'll come here a little early if I can have my vacation life afterwards. It's almost like being able to get all your back pay for vacation and severance pay. Does that make sense? You made a very interesting choice this time around, Amy. Your soul made a very interesting choice this time around. A very interesting choice. I would bet that you have a vacation life after this. So yeah. Thank you, love. I don't think I have Jessi's chart. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times those souls that come here that have made a deal to come here or whatever this time around, they either, yeah, that was a yawn. They either had their mom had a very hard time giving birth to them. They had a very hard childhood. They've had a lot of health problems. They've had a lot of issues. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right. Miss Jessi. Oh, wait, I guess I shouldn't say Miss Jessi. There we go. All right. First of all, holy shit. What do you need to know? What stands out? Damn. Your personal power is all tied in with your karma. But you also have an issue with it being in opposition to your divine masculine. And it wars with your emotions. Oh, honey. Okay. You are fighting your own karma like nobody's fucking business. Okay. So let's see if I can at least give you some insight into why you're fighting this karma. That Libra balance aspect. No, right there. I don't know why that didn't stand out to me before. Okay. Gotcha. The reason that you're fighting your karma is because you're ungrounded. Okay? You're ungrounded, if that makes sense. All the rest of your elements are pretty balanced. 33.3, 33.3, 26.7. They're pretty balanced. But you only have a sliver of an earth sign there. And it's not even anything at all in a major sign. It's nothing. Like technically in your chart, you don't have any earth. You're also more ending than beginning, but only by a tiny bit. So you push, and then you don't want to do the middle part, you end. You know what I mean? End. Oh, okay. Hoping I can tell you exactly why you're fighting your karma, but oh, there it is right there. Okay. Honey, your karma is actually not bad. Your karma is actually not bad. What I'm looking at right here. So this is where your moon is up here. If I move it over, well, I can move it a little bit because it's not showing your birthday. Okay. I just didn't want to show like your birthday, right? Okay. So what I'm looking at right here, your Jupiter and your Saturn are tied together in your chart. Like they're almost right on top of each other, right? So they're in conjunction, but also arguing with the moon. It is what it is. Then I'm also looking up here. It's kind of arguing with your sun sign, with who you are. And then down here, same thing. It's causing all this shit with your divine masculine. So let me turn it back slightly here. Honey, your karma this time around is actually really good. And for some reason, and I have a feeling some of it has to do with this, your Pluto was in retrograde when you were born. You never feel like you are good enough. You never feel like you deserve good things. You never feel like you just never feel good enough. That's the karma. That's the karma, is that you have to accept that you do deserve all the good, that you do deserve to have things be happy and pleasant and nice and calm. And that's the karma, sweetheart. It's good. It's all good karma. You just keep fighting it because your soul is like, no, it can't be. It can't be good. There's always another. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. But there's no other shoe. So, Jessi, love, the karma that you're trying to run from is all good. It's all good. It's just your natural instinct to push it away. So, I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Like that's the thing that you have to deal with, that you have to get over, okay? Does that help? Woo, y'all got to see one. And you probably will. You probably will fight it. It's something that you're going to have to overcome in this life, and it's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be really, really hard. So, yeah. It could be a rollover from a past life, yeah. Which, what that would tell me is that her life before this was really, really hard. It was really, really hard. Which, how you can tell if you're, thank you, Tosh, how you can tell if you had a really, really hard life before this is that you carry this, it's almost like stone in the middle of your chest, and you really can't explain how it got there. Like every soul has trauma. Every person in this life has been through some shit. It is what it is. We've all been through shit. But some people carry this, it's almost like a cannonball in their chest, and they can't really go back and pinpoint why. Like they can't really pinpoint why. So, all right. So this is Bitsy. What do you need to know? What stands out? Okay. First of all, you really like things simplified. Oh. Not only do you really like things simplified, you are so welcome, Jessi Love. Not only do you like things very simplified, but your inner dialogue with yourself would bring anyone to their knees. Oh, man. And that's in a Virgo. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Your outer dialogue could bring anybody to their knees as well. That's funny. Spiritually, you are absolutely a go-getter, aren't you? You are absolutely a go-getter. Holy crap. So seeing, I am going to knock that over. I'm going to knock that over, and I'm going to scare the shit out of myself. It's going to happen. Watch. So seeing that big old thing right there, that 46.7% of your chart is cardinal signs. That is you being able to move forward quickly, to be ambitious and so on. And then I look over at your elements, and your fire is only 13%. And I see that the biggest part, okay, there we go. I see that the biggest part of your chart is water, which is your intuition. It's your emotions. It's your sensitivity. Ooh. All right, hold on. Look, fives, five, 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 five. Sweet Pea, you're a traveler. You're a traveler. So now here's my questions. Here's my questions. Because when I say that you're a traveler, what I mean is you're traveling in your sleep. You're traveling in your sleep. I would bet you travel when you're awake and I don't know if you know you can do it. You are one of those people that all you have to do is sit down, set your mind to it, and off you go. I don't think that you channel. I think what it is you travel. So you know a lot of interesting things that you don't know how you know them. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain that. It's almost like if somebody downloaded part of your part of an encyclopedia of random ass shit or very weird mathematical shit, like something like that. You know what I mean? Something you've never ever in your life studied, but you know it, and you're right, and you don't know how you know it. No, that's not daydreaming. So here's my other question. Do you have some issue with your brain? Like, do you have like ADHD? Do you have epilepsy? Do you have anything at all with your brain? Have you, I would bet, I mean, you've been like this as a kid. You were like this when you were born. You just like to bounce around. Your brain won't shut up. You like to bounce around. I would bet you are happiest when you're able to travel, happiest when you're other places. That right there tells me that if you can know, et cetera, if you can get them onto paper, if you could get them in front of somebody that can make them come to life. Thank you for the one. You would be one hell of a writer. Seriously. You are a writer. That's awesome. What's your favorite genre? Thank you, love. What's your favorite genre? That's funny. That's funny. Hello, love. Ooh, y'all aren't seeing that. Historical fiction. I love it. I love it. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. I always love that when I'm like, you should do this. And then you're like, I already knew that. How long have you been doing it? Happy late birthday, Melissa Martin. Started when you were a kid. Same. I love that. That just cracks me up. Oh, thank you for that, love. So I saw a video of myself today from like not last, like 2021, right? And I sent it to Sass and I was like, who is that? Who is that? Doesn't look like me. You are so welcome. Thank you for letting me read you. All right, Melissa Martin, are you ready? All righty. So that big, huge square or rectangle right there in the middle really stands out. Like that thing is just kabam. With your Pluto, which is in retrograde, with your Vesta and your Saturn, with your divine feminine and your divine masculine. Okay. That's pretty balanced right there. Interesting. Okay. That's interesting too. Stop it. Okay. So, Melissa, let's talk about you here. I would bet that you are kind of the epitome of the Capricorn. I would bet that. So I don't have y'all's rising on here because I don't ask for your birth time. Because a lot of people don't know their birth time. I would bet that you are the epitome of the Capricorn with looking at everything super logically, with moving on very quickly, with almost being too cold with some things. Let me look here. Yep. Yep. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Miss Melissa. Now, this is going to suck when I say this, but it's also kind of freeing at the same time. You're never going to be satisfied in this life. Thank you for subscribing. So, boho, you're never going to be satisfied in this life. You can be almost satisfied, but nothing is ever going to be quite good enough because of this. Your sun, your personal power, and your karma is all in cardinal signs. It's all in cardinal signs, meaning you're always ready to move forward. You're ambitious. You need change. You need to move. You need things. You're happy when things are coming at you so fast that you can't think straight. You're happy when you have too much to do. You are literally the epitome of the Capricorn. But here's the thing. And so I know I said that it was going to be bad, sound bad when I'm saying that. It's really not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. You're here to make massive changes around you. You're here to make, the difference in when you're in like a kiddie pool and you just kind of are jumping up and down, you make little waves, right? Well, if you take like a boogie board or a body water and you make big, massive waves, that's a huge fizzle out. They go away really quickly. But if somebody's next to you, they're going to get pissed because you made all those huge waves. You're supposed to make those huge waves, honey. And I know it's overwhelming. I know it's overwhelming. But it is who you are. It is who you are. You don't know how to not. You don't know how to not move forward. And I would bet that you have a problem with people around you. You don't understand how they are stuck in the past. You don't understand how they are stuck on something from a year ago. You don't understand how they are stuck on, whatever it is that they're stuck on. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to go. I would also bet that when you're ready to leave, you leave. You don't fuck around. You're not going to wait for everybody. You're like, I'm leaving, get in the car. So, yeah. If you can own the fact that you are in constant forward motion, it will be so much easier. It will be so much easier. I know it's overwhelming. Trust me. I know it's overwhelming. But like I said, by owning that fact that you need to be in constant motion, it will help you even out better in life, because your personal power is right there in that Libra, meaning you need it. You need everything evened out and balanced. Okay. So just own, I need to be moving constantly all the time. I understand this on a very deep level. Because, and everybody around me will tell you this. I'm constantly doing something. I'm constantly moving forward. I have a problem sitting still. I have a problem. I can't relax. A lot of it is because I have like 5 Capricorn placements, but yeah, I can't relax. So as long as you own that, like, hey, I'm moving forward. Intuition. So your intuition, your moon is in, your moon's in Scorpio. Okay. You absolutely need to start trusting yourself a lot more, trusting your gut a lot more. By trusting your gut a lot more, it will help you move forward in the right ways instead of just moving forward to move forward, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times people will start moving forward just to move forward when they feel like they have to push forward. What? Look at you. You got exhausted looking at my goal list. I'm going to hit every fucking one of them. Here, you watch. All right, Dawn Allen. Are we ready? You are so welcome, sweetheart. Sweetheart. I'm just apparently going to get random accents tonight. You're welcome. What do you need to know? What stands out, Miss Dawn? All right. Woo. First of all, you have a very interesting pattern there. Oh, your moon is in Virgo and it's in your 11th house, meaning that you are constantly overthinking your career. You are constantly overthinking where you need to head forward. You are just, you compare yourself to other people like nobody's business, don't you, honey? You are also way, way, way too hard on yourself as far as your divine feminine goes. You have a lot more masculine traits than you do feminine. Okay. You try not to. That's funny. There's nothing wrong with comparing yourself to other people. There really isn't. Just don't live there. You know what I mean? Just don't live there. Because being an Aquarius, you're going to seek out that brooding aspect of yourself. You know what I mean? One thing I'm going to say is seeing some of the things on here. Honey, you need to make sure that you give yourself time to sit and brood, time to sit and be stuck in your own emotions, time to sit and just wallow in it. Okay? Because seeing that, A, your moon is in Virgo, B, your divine masculine is in Taurus, and C, that divine feminine is in Capricorn. That's both aspects of yourself. That's both sides of you. Your moon's also tied in with your communication, with everything. You need to make sure that you give yourself time to brood, time to kind of wallow in it. I don't mean every day. I don't mean every day. That is one of the most balanced I've seen today. Nope. See, right there. That's what I was saying. You've got to have time to sit and think through things. Yep. So the South is what you put forward into the world. You put a lot of brooding into the world. You put a lot of yeah. Dawn, honey, COVID has forced that. Oh, yeah. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that you've been doing that, because, and this is for everybody, this will help you with your shadow work more than you realize it. Okay. Being present with you, being present in the moment and really working through little by little in your head will help you move the mountain. You can't just pick the whole mountain up and move it. You just can't. You have to move it little by little by little, like pebble by pebble by pebble, piece by piece by piece. But by moving it that way, eventually you look around and you're like, God, I'm never going to get done with this. And you turn around and there is no mountain left. So sitting and being present with yourself is just as important as sitting and being present with other people. Just as important. So I'm glad that you're already doing that. And I don't know if you just needed the permission, the permission to do it. But yeah, part of what you have to overcome in this life is that aspect of not identifying with your own divine feminine. And I hate that. That's yeah, that way. Yeah. Y'all did not see that. Y'all did not see that big old yawn. So, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, honey. I have a feeling that your soul has a lot to work out. Your soul has a lot to move past. And so a lot of, oh, you're so welcome, chloroform. You're welcome, sweetheart. I'm glad that I could help. That's why I do what I do, sweetie. Mwah. That's for you. I wanted to flip the camera back around. So, yeah. That's for you, sweetheart. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to get all the yawns because it has been a long couple of days. I've had some kind of really light stomach bug, and it's just been enough that it's kept me up a lot at night where you're just uncomfortable sleeping, and it's dumb. It's dumb. All right. Star. Look at you. Holy shit. Oh, look at there. Your Saturn is in your 12th house and in retrograde when you were born. Look at all that fire. Look at all that fire. Oh, you're an ender. Ooh, you need constant change, constant movement, and then you overthink every bit of that movement. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, so I don't have little kids in school, right? I don't have little kids around me, but my sister does. And my brother-in-law works for one of the main news stations here. So I usually get the down low on like what's going on through the schools. But I was telling my sister that I'd just been so nauseated, like it's not even funny. And it's not because my sugar is crashing, it's not anything, it just out of nowhere. Like having to force myself to eat yesterday kept me up all night, the night before last, and kept me up a lot last night. And so I was like, well, I guess it was something I ate, whatever. My sister was like, nope. She was like, nope, there is some nasty ass stomach thing going on. And I was like, oh, you bitch. Like, I don't want it. Take it back. But yeah, I've been running a little bit of a fever today, just like 99.5, but still enough. You know what I mean? Enough to know that I'm fighting something. But, I have been for like 4 or 5 months now on a daily basis taking vitamin C and a vitamin B, like multivitamin and zinc. So yeah, because I already knew that this winter was going to be fucking horrible because you have all these COVID variants and now you have all the flu variants and they just make these hate babies, and it is what it is. It is what it is. So, Star, you have to be in constant shift. Yep. But only if it's you changing. Only if it's you making the effort to move forward. There it is. Okay. So here's the thing, Miss Star, okay? It's okay to be constantly moving forward, guys. It really is. It's okay to be constantly wanting to end things. A lot of this over here, a lot of, there it is, that right there, is you needing to end things karmically. You have a lot of aspects that your soul has to cut off and be done with. So I wouldn't be surprised to know that the older you get, the easier it is for you to cut off things, people, situations, places, etc., that have been kind of plaguing you your whole life. I wouldn't be surprised to know if you have people that have been around you your whole life and suddenly you're like, you know what? I don't like you and I don't want to talk to you anymore. In fact, I would be surprised if you have not had that happen because, yeah, I just dropped my meat. Giggity. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay. And it has to happen. I would bet these people that you've been around your whole life and then suddenly you're like, you know what? I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. That's a karmic contract that you're ending right there. Because I would bet that these people, it's like they've done so much to you. And then suddenly it's like they didn't even really do anything wrong. Everything's actually going good. And you just kind of look over at them. You're like, I don't like the way you breathe. I don't like the way you breathe. I don't like the way you looked at my TV. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's okay. Honey, it's okay to constantly be shifting. Seeing that your personal power, your Jupiter is over here in Earth, and everything else is pretty much fire and air, or fire and water. You're supposed to be moving. You're supposed to be shifting. That's why all three of these are fire. Sweetie, your whole job in this life, your soul's whole job in this life is to be constantly in motion. So don't be so hard on yourself, okay? It is what it is. Oh, which post is that made you cry? All right, Rose. How many tickets do I have? How many? What the heck? I need to quit talking. Oh, I'm glad that you're still here with you, Gypsy Honey. 45. Are you serious? Someone needs to get on to me. I love you, sweetheart. And I followed you. That's why I do what I do, is because I don't ever, I've lost way too many friends in my life to that. I've lost way too many friends. In high school, here's why I take that so seriously. So when I was in high school, my sophomore year, we had a couple of kids that took that route. My junior year, we had 5. My senior, well, and a teacher. And then my senior year, we had 4. Like, it was in the school's history, it was like the worst clump of them ever. It was like crazy. And in losing so many of my close friends like that, I started to think, maybe I should do that too. I don't want to be here either. And so I know how it feels on both sides of that. I know how it feels. And I also know how it feels to not have anybody on your side, to feel like your whole world is completely cascading down on you. And you can do nothing but just go, okay. You can do nothing but watch it and not have anybody to help hold you up. And I don't ever want any of you guys to feel like that. I don't ever want any of you guys to feel like you don't have somebody that cares about you, that you don't have somebody that's there, that you don't have, yeah. Oh, sweetheart, that is a very heavy burden to bear. That is a very heavy burden to bear. And I would say that the universe made sure that you are here for a reason, honey. The universe made absolutely sure that you are here for a reason. So, yeah. Yeah, Joy, there's a lot of younger souls that have that feeling. They don't want to be here. And I understand. That's the problem. I understand. Like, the world is kind of shit. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. Yeah. So I understand. I understand. And it seems like it's some of the most talented kiddos, the ones that have the most intense abilities and gifts, that feel like they don't fit here anywhere. So I've had to learn why, when they talk about, well, the world is crap. And the other thing too is, and this is every parent's favorite question, why does it matter what I do with my life? Because if I'm not George Washington, if I'm not changing the world in that way, who's going to care? And the thing is, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. The people around you will miss you, but eventually they go on with life because they have to. Except for my heater. My heater's fixing to die a horrible death. It needs to turn the fuck off. I'm going to die. But at the same time, I explained to them, it's just like school. It's just like school. You have to be here to accomplish certain things that you're never going to use again. I have never in my life had somebody sit down and go, okay, what is the conjunction of this paragraph, or what? And I've been a writer since 1996. I've never used that shit. I've never used math. I mean, I do, but I have a calculator. You see what I'm saying? So like some of these times when I'm explaining to them, I'm like, it's life. You have to go through it to get to the next phase. So everybody is interconnected with everyone else. So you popping in here to say that spurred this conversation. And thank you for that. Thank you for that, love. You matter as well. The universe kept you here for a reason. And without you being in here and saying something like that, and me saying something like that, Joy probably wouldn't have shared what she shared. Everybody is so interconnected, and I hate that most people don't ever see that. When you guys get on a spiritual path, you start to have these epiphany times where things just hit you like this all the time. And it's at the most weird, inopportune times. And you feel a little crazy. But at the same time, when you start to see how every single thing is interconnected, it kind of blows your mind a little bit. It's almost like playing, the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever. But with everything. So yeah. But the thing is, the world is balanced. The world is literally balanced. The world is horrible and the world is fantastic at the same time. All at the same time. So yeah. So the things that we put out, good and bad, are required. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad all of you are here. I'm glad all of you are here hanging out. And yes, I needed an adultier adult to go behind me and go, did you mean to do that? Is that the right number? What are you doing right there? Hey, Jenny, how are you? Yeah, I need an adultier adult. I like Tiffany. I need an adultier adult. Let me push through as many as I can. How about that? Adulting is overrated. That's why I need an adult. That's why I need an adult. Daisy. Okay. Well, truthfully, what I may have to do, because I'm looking to see how many I am through. Hang on. Because as I told you guys, like, I've been sick the last couple of nights. So I'm drained as fuck. That's why I was like, why does my, because I saw like that load more and I'm like, oh my goodness sakes. Okay, woo. So I can't live without Tiffani right now, right? Because I have to like put my list down and I can't see the thing to check people in. So I know I've done the person, right? And so it kept saying 11 and I'm like, that's not right. Like I've done more than 11 reads this evening. So I refreshed my list and it said 0. And I went, oh, motherfucker. I have to go back through all of these and see who I did and who I didn't. Like I really had like mini heart attack there. And it finally updated and said, it says 21. So I'm like, okay, all right. I'm not gonna shit cookies. I'm not gonna shit cookies. I almost should have did cookies. I'm just letting y'all know. I almost got to watch me shit cookies. You're welcome for that. You're welcome for that. Some of you guys are born in the most interesting places. I'm just saying. Now I got to put this back on. I guess I could probably go get some caffeine. Like that would probably help. Y'all just want to watch me take my jacket on, take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. Yeah. But yeah, I'm letting you know right now that some of y'all at the end, I probably will not get to tonight. All right. Rosewoods, are you ready? Flip. Do the thing. Do that thing. All right. Here we go, Rose. Woo, what stands out? Oh my God. First of all, Rose, you and me is peas and carrots. You with all those Capricorn placements there too. So the first thing, the main thing that stands out here is that your Vesta's in retrograde. It's also directly in line with your sun, your divine feminine, and your Uranus. So I do love that is the only thing in retrograde in your chart. Here's what this tells me, Rose. What stands out, what you need to know. I know that you don't feel worthy of other people's love. I know that you feel like it's not so much that you're never enough, but it's that feeling of like, how could anybody really love me? Seeing that all of this is down here, especially those Capricorn placements, you are so headstrong with your own personal power with your own divine feminine, with your own communication, that sometimes you block everybody else out. And people don't understand that. People don't understand that. So they don't ever love you correctly. I don't think that they take the time to understand you, and I don't think that they ever fully love you correctly. And so when you have somebody that does understand you and somebody that does love you correctly, you don't feel worthy of it. You don't feel worthy of it at all in any way, shape, or form. That's the first thing that stands out to me. The second thing that stands out to me is that your Pluto, your Saturn, and your Mars are all in Scorpio in your first house. You completely operate off of emotion. You completely operate off of what you have to do to get the job done. And you are that person that is so far in your own head most of the time. Okay. You are so far in your own head most of the time that you don't even realize your elements are pretty well balanced. Your elements are pretty well balanced. Like you're kind of a workhorse. You have that determined push through, I want to do it right the first time aspect. Okay. Okay. So remember how I said that your Saturn is direct in line with your Venus and your Mars and your personal power. And love is the aspect of you. Love is the aspect of you that stands out the most in here. I would be willing to bet that you are the most giving and loving person that most people know. But you don't ever feel like anybody understands you. So don't stop being that giving and loving person. Don't ever, ever stop being that giving and loving person. And when somebody does understand you and they do love you the way that you need to be loved, accept it. You're going to fight and you're going to buck and you're going to like, your whole everything is going to be like, nope, nope, nope. But that's exactly what has to happen. It's part of what you have to accept in this life. It's one of your goals for you to move on. You know what I mean? So let that person in when they love you the way you need to be loved, okay? Good night, Miss Joy, honey. Got something in my eyeball. I know that she's exhausted dealing with that today. What are you doing? Another Cappy. All right. Well, look at this. Look at that. Woo. What do you need to know what stands out? Well, holy crap. Looky right there. Thank you guys. Much love right back to all of you. Well, holy moly. Who's my favorite Family Guy character? That would be Stewie. I love me some Stewie. There's nothing wrong with that. One of the best couples that I have ever seen. The most amazing, just unconditional love. They're almost 40 years apart. So, yeah, there is nothing wrong with that. All right. So let's talk about this. Because, Miss Stephanie, what stands out is that humongous satellite dish beacon towards your moon. Your moon in Cancer is in your 9th house, all by its lonesome on the top of your chart. Everything else is in your foundation, your family, who you are. And being the fact that your moon is in trine with your Pluto means that you overthink the way you look all the time. It's also in trine with your divine masculine and your divine feminine, both in Pisces, meaning that those two either work together perfectly or war with each other. And then look at all your Cappy placements down there. Cappy and Sagittarius placements. Oh, you're a powerful ass manifester too, aren't you? Look at that. Seeing that Jupiter in Capricorn. So here's the thing, guys. When I see this, when I see a Jupiter placement in Capricorn, that tells me that that person is such a manifesting powerhouse. It is not even funny. Yeah, it's not even funny. So I would bet that you manifest for everybody else and not yourself. You forget to, because being a Capricorn with that in your chart, girl, you own that manifestation for yourself, and there's no stopping you. There is no stopping you. That's actually fantastic. Not gonna lie. It's actually fantastic. Wow, that is a lot of cardinal signs over there. Again, you are that person that you need to be constantly moving forward. You need to be constantly moving on. I do really appreciate that your water is the biggest part of your chart. I don't think that you probably do, because I think that probably with your emotions and so on, having that most of those in a cardinal sign means that you either overreact or you shut down. There's really no in between. But the vast majority of what you're here for has to do with your personal power, owning that personal power, because one of the only things that your Saturn is tied to is your Jupiter. So You've got to own that personal power, sweetheart. You've got to own that personal power. I like when I flip around because then I can put somebody's stuff in and nobody sees anybody's birth chart. Let's see here. Andrea V. All right. So there's Andrea. What do I need to know and what stands out? Well, I see why you're having such a hard time right now, because your sun being in Cancer, means that you're super squishy on the inside. But your sun and your Saturn are both there in your 4th house. This is your foundation. This is your family. So when you have to lose family, when you have to move away from family, when you have to make decisions that are hard about family, it really, really tears you up. It really tears you up. It throws you off kilter. It throws you off balance. It starts you overthinking everything. And you feel like you physically lose a piece of yourself. And I understand that. The other thing that stands out really insanely is your Mercury. Your Mercury being in Cancer and then also being in retrograde when you were born means that you have a problem communicating. You have a problem saying what needs to be said. But retrograde is great for you. So if you learn how to own that in retrograde and speak up during retrograde, you'll always have the right words. Like, you're always going to have the right words. And I see why your divine masculine comes out a little too much. You kind of lack that divine masculine guidance. So you strive to be that for yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Then you have your divine feminine down there in Gemini, and it's also tied in. Okay. You try to balance your divine feminine too much. If it was over into Taurus, it'd be a little different, but it's not. It's right there on that line of Gemini. So you try to balance that divine feminine too much, and you really, really, your divine masculine takes over probably more than you realize it does. Because it's tied in with several things right there. Yep. You overthink everything, sweetheart. Yep. But here's the thing. See that right there? That is your divine masculine. That's your Mars, your passion. It's the only thing that keeps you from procrastinating so much that you stop. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Ugh. So you have a few things to overcome karmically. One is your need to continually change, continually end things. And the other is to let things go more than you overthink them. Does that make sense? Oh, yeah. No, I can tell that you're a procrastinator. Look at that. Like, you're not always in a hurry to get things done, but you're in a hurry for things to be over. That's funny. That's funny as fuck. Like, really. That's funny. So let's see here. Y'all, I'm just letting you know right now, there's no way I'm making it through 18 other readings. There is no way. And I know a lot of people said they already had to go to bed. So let's do this. Because if I'm running a fever tomorrow, I'll have my happy ass right here. I won't be at the shop. Because I don't want to give anybody else this, whatever it is. It's not bad, but it's not great. Not great. And it has definitely knocked my dick in the dirt a little bit. And yeah, I said it. I'll probably fucking get banned from TikTok for that. Sorry. Anyway. Anyway. Let's do this. Let's finish these tomorrow. Because even if I'm at the shop, I can pull this up and go forward. Like, yeah. I can get these done tomorrow. Plus, I really like doing these. I really like doing these. Like, these are fun. Because a lot of times when I'm doing astrological reads and I pull somebody's chart up, I go, what the fuck? Look at this. Like, I can't help it. You know what I mean? I can't help it. So, like, I'll show you. I'm going to show you a good example. I want a little test. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Intuitively, what do you see there? So it'll be tomorrow afternoon. Hey, Paula. I would love that. So see how every one of you saw different things? Every one of you looked at that and saw something different. So I see a crown. I also see a flower. But everything you guys are seeing, the sailboat is movement. The bird is movement. The crown is movement. Everything is movement. Everything is movement. This is what I love looking at. I get lost in these things right here. I get lost in these things right here. Yeah. It's easy to look at those things and go, holy shit, look at that. Holy shit, look at that. So yeah. Yeah. Pyramids, a star. Yeah. All of those things represent something powerful, right? Every one of those things represents something powerful. So yeah. So yeah. Well, let me get up here on YouTube because I know, whoa, I don't know what I just did. Sorry. All righty. So you guys on YouTube, I'm going to head off of here, and in finishing these up tomorrow, I will make sure that I'm on YouTube streaming as well. So you guys won't miss it there.